Okay, let's get started.
Just raise your glasses high. This one's sweet.
Turtle time.
I don't know how to say this, and I really don't like opening Turtle Time with this kind of news, but I'll just try my best to get through it. Brittany Bateman and Jared Osmond have broken up. On Super Bowl Sunday, she posted a carousel of all of their beautiful moments together, accompanied with the song Your Love by The Outfield, and she captioned it, "Goodbye, baby, you are loved." Jared didn't want to lose Brittany's love tonight, but he may as well have. Amy, what's your routine that you do when famous couples like this break up?
I light a candle, pour myself a glass of wine, take a bubble bath. I feel like she's lost the charm of this scenario. Everyone's like, enough.
Yeah.
It was funny the first 7 times, but at this point, we can't take it anymore. It's not even funny.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. It's almost like I'm like, okay, you guys can fire her if you want. Like, I love Brittany more than anyone, and I'm
It's run its course.
I'm just like, come on, like I don't like you and I are the first people to call out when Brandy Glanville was like, I'm dying. Click the photo to see how dead I'm gonna be in 5 years, and we're like, this sucks. I fucking hate clickbait. We have to deal with enough of it. The fact that we have to deal with this like real life clickbait is so annoying to me. And she also does other clickbait too, where it was like, Brittany's fired. There's rumors swirling she's fired, and she's posting them with the emoji going, I'm a little stinker. Do you think I was fired? And I'm like, just tell the truth. Your life is not fodder for speculation that you're purposefully trying to inflame. I was so tired of it, So
Well,
but I was
you
so,
took the bait and covered it as the first news item.
yeah, but
the
I
bait
said
man.
that well, did you say bait man? I took the bait, man. You're right. I totally took the bait, but
You're
I
the
also
Brittany Bateman.
I thought maybe we would actually fake our way through it and be like, oh, this is so tragic or whatever. But I completely agree with you. I think that you can now rightly say that they are both hamming this thing up for
Yeah.
cameras. And if I was a producer, I'd be like, this sucks. I'd call Brittany on the phone after Super Bowl Sunday and be like, Brittany, you got to stop doing this. Very funny in a way, but this is horrendous. And like, we want our reality television shows to have this like prestige level, and you're kind of tanking that image a little bit with these kind of games.
Yeah. Well, good luck to her. I feel like I'm happy to have a Salt Lake break. I'm like, you guys figure that out over there. Come back to me when you have all your pieces together. I don't really want to think about it until then.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sorry to make you think of it.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I feel like we just got out of that, and I'm happy to just not be in that world for a minute, which is like, I don't know. I know that's everyone's favorite franchise, but I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, I thought that was a tragic season last season. I think I stated that pretty emphatically almost for most of the season. But yeah, that was rough. I hope they're able to figure things out. And I was so on the side of like, Meredith might get fired to make room for Brittany if Brittany doesn't want to film with Meredith. But if Brittany does shit like this every single day, then they're going to be like, we'll fire Brittany. It's not worth it. This isn't fun. But anyway, you're right. I got to get over Salt Lake City. What the hell am I thinking? Like, it's been weeks, and there's so much other news to cover. Oh, actually, before we get to news, why did I start on this note that was sour when you and I have sort of the best thing in the world that we could ever talk about up front? I don't know if any Turtle Time listeners were paying attention to the social media sphere besides Brittany's announcement. But you and I, Amy, got to do one of the coolest Bravo events, I think, in history, which was almost directly connected to the big game that everybody was watching on Sunday.
It's true. We used some Delta miles, flew to San Fran the weekend of the big game. It was popping off up there.
Oh.
The city showed us an amazing time, and on Super Bowl Sunday at like 8 a.m., we boarded I don't know what kind of boat you call that.
Huge
I don't
ship.
know about huge.
Well, it was a huge. I mean, okay. People would be like, Riley, what, you don't know about boats? And I'm like, yeah, that's true. I don't know anything about boats. To me, 3 decks, big back of it, huge front, satellites on top of it. I was like, I don't go on boats. I think you are more acclimated to boats, but for me, I don't know if it was like a huge, yacht or whatever, but I thought it was a pretty significant boat. What did you think? Where did it land on your scale of boats?
Um, you know, not like a dinghy, like, and I guess small to mid. I mean, the event probably had there are probably 100 people aboard.
Yeah.
Total.
Oh my God. It was,
So, yeah.
yeah. I thought it was, oh my God. I was looking at it and I was just like, we are in huge, I was just like, we are in huge boat central. And we get on it and it was like, it's called the Reality Hot Seat Sailgate Party. And I had no idea in my wildest dreams when we were thinking about when we got the invite to this and then we hopped on board, I was like, what the hell are we in for? It exceeded my expectations times 100. It was West Wilson, Kate Chastain, Dorinda Medley, Kyle Cook. Everyone was on this boat and they weren't just sectioned off in their own, section. Everyone was just partying with us the entire time. And it ended up, I haven't watched any of the pregame stuff, but apparently, Megan was watching at home and you and I are laughing and stuff on the pregame camera. They would go to West and Kate Chastain as they were commenting, and us on the boat, we're all screaming and cheering. So I could not believe it,
Yeah, we were happy to offer our bodies to the cutaways of the Super Bowl. We got to see our best friend West again, which
Oh my
every
God.
time is pure delight. I will go to the mat for that man. He is an angel.
Oh, there's nothing. I think I already said I'm done being objective about West Wilson. I say it every single time we talk about it. His reputation has only been even more reinforced by how sweet he was to absolutely everyone, not just Amy and I, even though he was especially nice to Amy and I, as always, but just everyone. And you really, when you're on a boat, rocking back and forth, drinking Bloody Marys and Bud Lights for 4 hours, you really, I'm saying it. You get a sense of the inner spirit of people. I'm saying it. I got a big, huge debrief of the inner spirit of a lot of content creators, and I got a big, huge whiff of the spirit of different Bravo celebrities. I'll tell you right now, Wes Wilson has to be one of the nicest people on earth. And then Kate Chastain was one of the coolest people I've ever seen living and breathing in my life. She was so fucking cool that we were on the ground looking at Alcatraz, looking up at this gigantic boat. Beautiful boat. And Kate Chastain was just looking out, deep in thought, out at us. And then she never left the main hub of activity the entire time. Some people took breaks. Some people were like, I got to get away from these fucking freaks. And they went to the lower levels or whatever. But Kate Chastain was just sitting there hanging out. And she had no veneer of being overly bubbly or performative with content creators and being trying to shine people on. She was just like, how the fuck are you guys doing? God, she was like, Amy, or she didn't know your name, but she was like, I love your coat. Oh my God. Your ring. She was just so in the mix and so cool the entire time that I was like, you can't fake that at all. And I was so impressed with her and West specifically by just how much they were just rubbing elbows. I was like, you're rubbing elbows with me like this?
Yeah, we were there for 4 hours. And so Wes just had to keep coming around. He was like, what's up, you guys? I was like, sorry, you have to hang out with us. But I also, this adds a little flavor to the Summer House episode we're going to talk about shortly. But I have to say, Kyle is a good DJ.
Oh.
Dare I say?
Oh no! Oh, I knew we were going here. This is not going to be controversial in any way. The minute we had a lot of different DJs, showing off their skills. There was the DJ that was sort of paid for the event that was ripping it up like no one I've ever known in my life. Then Dorinda came and started putting her own spin on some medleys, on the boat. And then everyone, when we got to Alcatraz and picked up Kyle and Candace, Kyle came on board. And I swear to God, I have been dreaming about what the hell Kyle plays when he has his stab at DJing. He was ripping it up like nothing I've ever heard. You've never heard songs that are interspliced with songs like this in your life and the transitions. And he was able to do it for like, I'd say an hour was a Kyle Cook DJ set. And you and I had basically front row seats. We were screaming every single transition. You or I were like screaming, "Great transition, Kyle. This is so amazing." And it kind of reinforced why he's passionate, or I understood finally why he's so passionate about doing it, because he was so good at it.
Yeah. I have to, you got to give credit where credit is due. But it was a blast. I think it was worth us zipping up there for 24 hours. San Francisco, I kept saying after 4 Bloody Marys and Sauvignon Blancs that it's one of the great American cities. I couldn't shut up about it.
Oh, no, seriously. It was so beautiful. Like, we got on the boat and it was like a little foggy, that San Francisco, mist. I mean, not to quote like Mark Twain or whatever, but he did say that the coldest summer of the coldest he's ever been in his life was a summer in San Francisco. And I was like, holy shit, Mark Twain, say what you will about him, but he sort of really can get, he has a good way with words. But then at a certain point when Wes Wilson started talking, he goes, "Let's all have the time of our life. This is the party of the century." And then he goes, "Look, the sun just appeared." And then it opened up like heaven. And then it was just sunny and beautiful. And it was Alcatraz out there. Birds were flying over. And then I was so taken aback by the cityscape of San Francisco. It was so characteristic and beautiful on the water there. I was overcome with awe as well.
It was wonderful. I think so. West had his obligation to Peacock Bravo at our event. Ooh, excuse me. Got excited. And then he went straight from the boat, I believe, to the game where he met up with Sierra and their other friends. Sierra's like a Abercrombie partner, so she was there with them. And then that guy Fibula and that other guy, like Daniel.
Oh, Fibula and
Is that his name?
Daniel. I didn't, I was when we got back from San Francisco, I checked out
Henry.
mentally
Sorry.
He was with
Couldn't have been more wrong.
He was with Sierra, Fibula, and Henry at the Super Bowl. Oh my God, I missed this. I did see the photo of West and Sierra, like, I think they were hugging. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is so cool. To me, West zipping from our boat where he was commenting, I was so impressed. Like, I don't know. I was so impressed with West because he was doing what he had to do live, and it was going to be broadcast at the Super Bowl. And he's just sitting right, behind us. And like, it was like, I couldn't imagine doing that. I can barely film a TikTok video when somebody's looking over my shoulder. And he was like him and Kate Chesing were having to deliver segments live with Tom Colicchio. Tom Colicchio is like dropping these pigs in a blanket cards that he has in his hand. He's trying to put pigs in a blanket on a big board, and West is having to do live commentary. It was just so impressive. And then Wes zips over. He goes, "Goodbye, guys. I love you all more than life itself." He blows kisses to everyone. And then he's halftime. He's ready at the Super Bowl watching the rest of it. I was like, my God, the lives everyone leads here.
I know. There were also some ball players on the boat that we didn't take any notice to, but one of our friends replied to our stories and was like, "Holy shit, so-and-so and so-and-so were there." And I was like, I didn't know a thing.
Yeah, I was like, "You're blocking Candace." And
Candace is doing the conga line. Fuck off.
Oh, it was so cool. I loved every segment we did. They were like, "Amy and Riley, you need to, guys, we keep looking at you, Amy and Riley, you need to really pump it up here." And we were like, so we were a part of everyone. We were, in a way, we were supposed to represent the uproarious spirit of the boat. And I really feel like we did. In every segment, I think you and I were kind of screaming the loudest. And I want to shout out all the wonderful, other, like, I think they're called influencers. I wish there was a better name for it. But I really love all the people that we had this like shared experience with. Like, I'll never forget my time with Zachary Reality. I love him so much. I think about him all the time. I see him every single event. We just hug each other when we get to the next Bravo event, and then we never speak again for months. It's one of my favorite Bravo relationships. Hannah, who is so sweet to us. And there was like a little bit of like mixing, and I really felt like, I don't know, I felt like it was a shared experience that was truly iconic. And I think we say that, a lot, but this one was just like, it really felt like the party of the century on that boat after a couple drinks. And
There's a lot of people where I was like, "Oh, that guy from TikTok. I've seen him."
Oh my God. Oh yeah. We have to shout out Donald, Prima Donald. We got to shout out Cameron at NBC Universal for inviting us. It was, I think it exceeded everyone's expectations at a certain point. They were like, what the fuck are we going to do on this boat? Like, but it was just, you got us all there and we really lived it up. It was a dream.
Plied us with alcohol. It was great.
Yeah.
I think finally recovered. I took a nap on Sunday night and Monday afternoon, and I think now I am set to return to normal life. But yeah, we ripped it up. I also, so that was the mindset we were in leading up to the Super Bowl. We were on a plane during the game for the beginning of it. And but I was in such a state of euphoria that by the time I got to watch the halftime show on my phone on the bus to economy parking, that I was just like so wistful and in such a good spirit that I was like tearing up watching it. I have since become obsessed and watched it 17 times. So much to my chagrin, I have to bring up I think the big news story of the past few days is that Jill Zarin has already, I would say, blown any excitement for their new E spinoff because she has reminded us that she has hate in her heart.
Shortly after this recording, Jill Zarin was fired from E's upcoming show, The Golden Life.
And said it was the worst halftime show she's ever seen, not a white person to be found, complaining that Lady Gaga got a facelift, which I won't even talk about the hypocrisy of that coming out of her. And the entire, and then Taylor Armstrong also posted some shit, which I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, I didn't know she sucked like that. But Andy commented and was like, take it up with E. Like, they're not my problem anymore.
He did. Oh my God.
And so I was getting really pissed off. I've been like, for the past couple of days, just getting all riled up. And I have to say that Zarin Fabrics has commented. They posted a photo, a big square on Instagram of Jill Zarin's face with a giant X on it, saying she is not affiliated with Zarin Fabrics. Do not, we lead with love at Zarin Fabrics. Do not consider Jill a part of our hive. They put it on their website, like a crawl at the top. They were in the comments because people were like, but does she still get paid? And they were like, no, it was Bobby's business and his kids receive the legacy cash, not Jill. And I love that everyone's like, should I boycott Zarin Fabrics? I'm like, were you buying yardage at Zarin Fabrics? Like, was that part of your plan of the week already? Like, you're gonna have to be like, shit, I have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, every single Bravo celebrity has been posting like, not me. Don't consider me like that. Like, Dorinda was like, I couldn't disagree more. Crystal Minkoff was like reposting unflattering photos of Jill. Even Sonia Rita was like, she did a slideshow of her. She posted one. Remember when she did that like Latino magazine cover? She posted a meme of her saying from her confessional on the show, like, I have a big Latin fan base. Like, that's her answer to it.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm just like, I've told you this before, but I'm always at risk of appropriating and like wanting to become Latina. Like I told you when we watched Miami, I'm like, ay, por favor. Like, I'm like so like growing up in LA and like loving Selena and then J-Lo. And like, I'm just like, I am Puerto Rican now. Like, I feel very protective now after I got really into the halftime show. So when people are talking shit, I get so pissed. And so like, I already didn't want to see Jill on my screen, and now I really don't. And I'm also like extra pissed that she lives in Florida, of all places, and has like the gall to be like, why are you speaking Spanish? Like, I can't understand a word that they're saying. And I'm like, you live in Florida. Like, that, the coolest part about Florida is the like Latinos that live there. Like, I get so mad. So anyways, I had to rant because I'm just like, that show is cursed, extra cursed now. It already was, but now I feel like the other women are probably like, fuck, like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was already. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I agree with you completely. I was shocked by Jill Zarin once I saw that video. I was just like, whatever compelled you to make a 5-minute video ranting about your feelings about the Bad Bunny performance. It was almost too shocking to believe. The fact that we're talking about Zarin Fabrics and Jill Zarin, and it is shocking also that Jill Zarin just bubbled back up in our Bravo News segment as of last week, and then instantly
The
it's
hubris.
like get her off our fucking
Oh
TVs.
my
We never want to
God.
see her again. I don't understand at all why she felt that way. There was obviously so much backlash, and I also saw when I was like searching for news today, it was like Lisa Rinna is dancing to Bad Bunny. Like, look, in response, and it was like Bethany had a take, she deleted it, and then she provided a new take. It's like, oh my God, everyone in the Bravo universe
Spiraling
really, but also pro Bad Bunny. You know, it was like everyone. It was really
It's
much
like a
more.
litmus test.
It was really much more. It was much more politically divisive than I would have ever imagined, and I also didn't get to watch it in real time, so I watched it when I got home, and I was like, this is beautiful. Like I don't know Bad Bunny's music too well.
Yeah.
Like I've listened to a couple of his songs, and I really like them. I think but I thought it was a beautiful Super Bowl halftime. Like aesthetically, set design, beautiful. Even if I don't know the music, I liked the spirit of it, and I just could not imagine, unless you're so politically fucking warped, that you felt the need in some way to have a sort of like potentially divisive response to it.
Yeah.
It just seemed pretty, I mean, I'd say pretty just inherently beautiful, and also inherently beautiful or whatever. That's kind of subjective, but I just thought it was overall a very good performance, and I'm more dismayed just that, like, culturally I just feel like we're so fucked. Like,
we can't have anything.
I was looking at these ads or whatever, and I was just like, oh my God, have mercy, like, on us, please.
Like
I'm
youthified, like Duncan one.
do I believe in God because I believe in Satan? Like, do you believe in good because you believe in evil? I was like, robots are drinking Michelob Ultras, and then there's an AI Harry Potter swirling around, and then there's the nerd's gummy bear that's about to eat Drake May on the
we
field.
have
I'm just
strayed
like,
so far from God's light. We are
I'm like-
lost
I'm like-
in the desert.
I'm like, kill me. I
No, I know.
really feel like, apart from the coverage of Bravo that we do, like, which I seriously love, except sometimes when it intersects with political divisiveness. But I do like that there is just this sort of singular focus that you and I have.
Sure.
But outside of that, I really feel like culture is a fucking landfill. Like, it was like who can do the best AI? I seriously, I didn't even want to watch because it sickens me to the core. I saw the Kinder Bueno one, and I was like, I think there might be AI, and it's like, oh no, it's fucking.
That was the least of your worries.
And the people were like, this is the least fun Super Bowl commercials ever. It was all gambling, GLP-1, and all this shit, and I just kind of, now I'm like reading Ian McEwan novels and like George Saunders, and like trying to watch movies like Sinners and stuff, and I'm really trying to just hone in on what I really love, because it is so dispiriting when you get a wide lens at what the fuck
I know.
is going on. And so
If it's not row.co, I don't want to hear it.
if it's not row.co, which hold on. I hated every other fucking ad, but when that row ad came on at the Super Bowl, I go, oh my God. I go, that it reminded me of the row journey that, like, I potentially do want to be on. And that was sort of like, you're talking about God's light. I was like, at least there was a little shining beacon of light that was able to sort of, kind of like when the sun came out on the San Francisco Bay.
Yeah.
I was like, this is beautiful. But other than that, I'm really worried.
No, it's
I'm really
like
worried
really
about us.
bleak times. I didn't have headphones on the plane for the TV, so I just watched everything without sound. I did see the Cliff Booth trailer without sound, which that gave me a little beacon of hope, although I'm still kind of concerned. But Jimmy went to a Super Bowl party, and he was like, "You're lucky you weren't there." He was like, "It was so depressing, the ads and everything." I was like, "I know. I've just been able to ignore it. I've seen generally what it was, but I'm not gonna specifically watch them." But I was very heartened by the halftime show, because like you said, call me a fair weather fan. I was unaware. I knew that Bad Bunny is like the most famous person in the world, like I, of course, knew that, but I haven't really delved in because, as we've discussed, I'm kind of not great at listening to new music and staying with the times. But after watching it, I was like, oh, I completely get it. I love it. I'm going to start listening to this shit. And he's hot and cool. That was so beautiful. And I feel like I have no other way to explain it except it's like corny, but that like joy is resistance. Like it was like we live in such hell that just like a cultural celebration feels so radical because we've been under like Gestapo rule and like, you know, everyone's been so scared that like to just have like Latin joy is like so emotional right now that I'm like, for you to like shit on that is like evil. Like I'm like, it goes beyond just, you could just keep it at like face value and say, like I think period it was a good show. Like I really liked the camera work and like
so I don't go that far. Like, you know, like I did, like as a Drake fan, I despised Kendrick's halftime performance, like leading up to him having a song about calling
but
someone.
But that's so niche for you.
But I'm just saying, I will never say that if somebody didn't enjoy the Bad Bunny halftime show that they're evil. I just don't. Like, I don't.
But you could say like I didn't like how like the cameras like. You could have specific complaints about it, but to be like, why were there no white people?
No, of course.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
I think that lens on everything is so toxic and awful. I do, but I don't want to get in the realm of like, I want to say something about that performance, you know, or whatever. It's like, obviously, like, you know, art is subjective. I'm just saying, like, there is a window of a world, but what I think is that hell came afterwards, after that, to live in the world in which it is talked about and discussed and immediately politicized within 1 second after he like hands the guitar over, or after this beautiful song of violins or whatever. I was just like, oh, now I have to suffer through fucking hell on social media. I'm like, this is awful. And I don't know. There's no, we've lost it. I feel like I've said this before. I think social media in a way is sort of a portal to hell. Anytime you open it up, it's just like, I want to go through Dante's 9 layers of hell until I get to the very bottom. And but I agree with you completely. You know, the fact that we're talking about fucking Jill, you know, after Bad Bunny is insane. It was. That's
I saw. I think I saw what Bethany had posted originally, and it wasn't because Jill's was so bad. Bethany's didn't seem as bad, even though she deleted it. But then people were ragging on her in the comments, and she was replying, "No one's done more for Puerto Rico than me." And I'm like, okay, well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I don't know. You know, I didn't see everyone's reaction to it, but I don't know if hers was more nuanced and she was like, this is a reason why I didn't like it, but I know what you mean. I mean, she deleted it, so it
never
must have
nuanced.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bethany, what the hell did you do? I didn't watch it, and I never will. And I'm never going to look into what you said about Bad Bunny's performance ever in my life.
Bye,
ever.
girl.
Okay, lastly, good. I mean, good. I'm going to play. I have Bad Bunny. I also want to listen to more Bad Bunny because I have friends who are such huge Bad Bunny fans, and they've sent me songs. I remember I listened to the Un Verano Sin Ti album with that wonderful heart on it, and I loved that album. I thought it was so beautiful.
No, I'm ready to dive in. This might push me over the edge I've been feeling the call to learn Spanish for like ever, and I was really bad at it in high school and like could not get it together. And I'm like, did Bad Bunny just inspire me? I'm also going to Mexico in like 2 weeks, and I'm like, maybe I start my journey now.
Yeah, I'm not just saying this because you said it, but I've also wanted to too. I want to start speaking Spanish casually. So maybe we could, a Patreon
tier that we do it in Spanish.
If we started now, there could perhaps be full segments of Turtle Time in a year from now. But no, I really have. You know, I really have. Like, I would love to speak Spanish as well. So, you know, I'm sorry that we had to sort of put a kind of a cloud over what was, I think, you know, bordering on almost objectively, you know, a good performance.
Just
and
a great
beautiful
show.
thing. A great thing. And also, you know, you and I personally, I couldn't have imagined how dispiriting it was for you to come back from an event that was pure joy. Which it really, no, you know what I mean? The Sailgate
totally.
party
I was so happy.
You and I were like tears were like about to bubble
We
up
were like
as we
on
got off
Molly. We were like, look how beautiful California is. Look at this beautiful vista up ahead. Look at Wes Wilson right
Look at-
there. He's
look
gorgeous.
Look at Dorinda dancing. Like, Dorinda's dancing. My God. Kyle's DJing.
Kyle's playing What's Going On.
Kyle, the Golden Gate bridge was behind Kyle as he's playing What's Going On. Like, it was absolutely surreal in the best way. And then you and I were like, we have one more drink in San Francisco. We have an hour to get to the airport. And I was like, what about, I asked for the first time in my life, I asked the hotelier, concierge, where the hell I can go. You and I could go for one last drink in the city. And he goes, if you want to be close by, the only non-touristy trap, non-piece of shit place is Buena Vista. It's been there for 100 years. You got to go. You and I got there in 5 minutes.
Whew.
We got 2 bar stools at the end of the bar, and we go, we'll take your world famous Irish coffees, please. And it was the best drink I've ever had in my life. Could you imagine what the fortuitousness of what fate had to be
What
like?
the gods had in store.
What the gods had to be for us to get the two seats at the bar, and their drink, world famous drink that they invented, be Irish coffee, which is exactly what you need after a Sailgate party like that. And then we got ours to go. We got 2 more
It was
to
like
go after
warm
that.
coffee on the bottom, cold cream on top. It was bomb.com. It was so cool. We went with the flow the whole 24 hours. We didn't have any reservations or like a map of like our spots we wanted to go to. We were just like, how about this? How about this? How about this? And every single place we went was awesome.
It was so cool. Oh my God. Shout out to Mr. Bings. Shout out to Skoma, which was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You
got a chowder. I
you
got
were eating
3
clam chowder.
martinis.
Yeah, we were ripping up, and I we don't have to keep talking about our trip, but for much longer. But like, I saw San Francisco for Super Bowl time, and the section of the city that we were in, I have never seen a city as bustling as San Francisco was on whatever street we were on when we were bouncing between bars. I was like, holy shit! I was already I was overly stimulated just to be going to any bars because I don't go out at all anymore with Penny. So this was like a situation I've never been in years, and it was so fun. I mean, the city was just like in an uproar. It was so cool. So
yeah, no, it was a blast.
Yeah.
I am already planning my return because I'm like, the flight is 1 hour. Like, we could be going any time. It takes as long to fly there as it's like faster to get there than to drive to Palm Springs.
we were like within 2 hours of me going to your house. We were touching down in San Francisco, ready to get to our Hotel Casa. So it exceeded all of my expectations. I know that you and I thought, like, is this going to be a bust? At least we'll be in San Francisco for a night together. But it was amazing. It was so fun. So we'll talk more about it, I'm sure, as we remember little details throughout the episode. But it was amazing, and I don't know. It felt like we got to take part in something that was beautiful. So
Absolutely.
So okay, now we got to talk about other stuff. Good things,
Yeah.
wonderful things.
The second episode of Summer House. I actually didn't write down what this one was called. Did you?
Oh yeah. It had a bad title.
Oh.
Stoned Cold Truth because I guess I think
I don't want to think about that.
I think because Amanda gets stoned, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Kyle repeats his habit of outing people's drug use. I was like, Kyle,
What he goes? He goes. It smells like bong resin in my house. He's like, she's
the
putting
volcano
on.
queen over here.
Yeah, she's doing volcanoes and putting on gas masks filled with weed, and it smells like a frat house. He goes, not only that, it looks like a frat house in here. He's like, oh my God, I didn't know she was smoking weed like that, but he lets everybody know she's really smoking. Can I say something about Kyle? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not clipping this. I have to say, there was, like I was saying about Kate Chastain being the coolest person I've ever seen in my life. West, the coolest person in my life. Unfortunately, I committed a huge faux pas with Kyle. I have to say this. He looked at me, and he knows me, like he knows that he thinks he knows me at the very least. Because I did that. I think because I touted Loverboy and I tried to get Trader Joe's to sell Loverboy. So I think he's like seen me enough to where he's like, that's a content creator that I think I know. So he goes,
Yeah.
I was sitting down with you and we were drinking Bud Lights, having fun. And he goes, hey, get over here, say hi. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I was like, I'm in a perfect spot right now. And I don't want to embarrass myself, and I don't need to have that one-on-one interaction. I love you. You're having so much fun. But I got up because what the hell am I going to do? And then he gave me the greeting of the century. Sweet, handshake or whatever. And then the boat started rocking, and I had to hold on to the DJ booth for 1 second.
It was made out of like cardboard.
It was made out of cardboard, and I fully pulled the full DJ booth back with me, and then it rocked, and Kyle goes, whoa! And I was like, oh my God, Kyle, that was my worst nightmare. I barely even wanted to get up because I didn't want to embarrass myself. And then I brought the full DJ booth with me, so that was kind of, an embarrassing interaction a little bit. But it could have been like, what the hell? Like, why did I shouldn't have gone up there. And what the hell was I thinking hanging on that DJ booth and causing it to rock back and forth? Like, that was that. I feel so much shame and I get embarrassed over saying the wrong word, like saying, hello, how are you? And then instead I like almost crashed the DJ booth on the reality hot seat party. I couldn't even I'm so glad I forgot about that basically until just now. But be that as it may, in my sort of social faux pas, we are now in media res. I always say that and I never know what the hell it means. Where we are living in the aftermath of Kyle going, Amanda, you're that bathing suit, it's see-through. This sucks. And he's going in the house and he kind of slams the door, I think. And everybody's like, whoa, I've never seen Kyle like that. He's like jealous and what the hell is going on? And then Amanda and Kyle both have to comment on this situation in their confessionals. And Amanda is like, I don't know what the hell Kyle is thinking. We swim nude all the time. It's one of our things. We get naked and jump in the pool. I have no clue. It's because I'm having fun, but it's without him. And then Kyle explains in his confessional how he's feeling, and he really has no rationale for it. He knows how bad it seems that he can't really justify it. He just says, I don't know. It just felt weird to me. So he's like not defending this at all.
Yeah, he's like, I don't really have a leg to stand on. It's kind of a tradition to skinny dip around here. And they show a long montage of them skinny dipping for 10 years straight. And she reminds us, she goes, and I already skinny dipped with Ben last year at that wedding. That's how we met. So he didn't care then. So he's just bummed out and feels completely left out this whole time. And he's clearly just imploding. Yeah. So we'll get into, there's more reason that is revealed.
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing. This is maybe too personal, but I do think that like when Kyle is hurt, he gets like angry. And like, it's really kind of shocking to see Kyle back to back this angry for this long. Like, we've gotten burst where he's like, I'm a little more, what does he say? I got a little more things
going on.
And like, you see him get angry and he screams and he's kind of like almost Craig, him and Craig have that spirit to them where they get really angry, but it's a lot to finally see that like Kyle taps into anger pretty quickly, so I wonder if that is probably, if I was angry a lot, that is something that I would like work on. I'd be like, because anger is not really a fun thing to have rear its head in social settings, in casual conversations. That's one of those 7 deadly sins that like I would want to tamp down. So, and knowing now that it's not just these isolated outbursts, that he kind of has that just simmering anger when he feels disrespected, I hope that that's something that he would maybe focus on in the future and work on.
Right. I can only describe it as, it happens at the very end, most specifically, but as mad dad, like dad's pissed, like, don't wake daddy, like,
damn it.
Yeah.
Why is a hammer on the floor? Like,
who's on the grill?
Damn it!
Get off the goddamn shed.
Yeah, exactly. That archetype of a mean, mad dad. I'm lucky. I don't have an angry dad for shit.
Yeah.
But there's some angry dads out there, and it's almost, maybe it's more shocking to me. Maybe a lot of people deal with angry people in their life, but I probably like would cry if somebody was angry at me.
Mhm.
So people don't get angry around me very often. I see it
Well,
very,
I'm familiar with Mad Dad. I could spot it from a mile away.
yeah. And so I just tapping into rage. Rage is pain. Rage is pain. It's pain, and you need a Band-Aid on that pain, Kyle. A Band-Aid that makes it heal.
No, I mean, I'll probably get in trouble. I feel bad for him.
Me too.
You know,
of course.
it's just a dark time, and I'm glad, as we've said, watching it, knowing they've made the step to break up makes it easier to watch, because if there was no announcement of them breaking up and we had to watch this whole season not knowing that, or like thinking that they were still together, it would be painful.
I am only saying this because I care about Kyle as well, and I know he's a good person, and I appreciate him so much. You and I are two of the biggest Kyle fans in the world. I'm only saying this because it's kind of jarring for me to see Kyle be this, angry over and over again, and this unhappy. And I want him to feel better, and I hope he does. But I love Kyle. What the hell? I'm just saying this. I'm saying this in that spirit of wanting him to be better. Okay, then they have a little bit of just check-ins, in the house, but everybody is going out. I was kind of like, oh my God, speaking of like our partying in San Francisco when we had to like start going to the Sailgate, it's like they just had the party of the century at their house, throwing pies, jumping in pools naked, and then they go out afterwards.
I know, and everybody goes.
Night. Yeah, and Kyle is, I think, in his cups. If everybody's in their cups, he's in his cups like maybe he had 3 or 4 extra cups, because he is starting to teeter on the edge of almost too drunk at the Southampton Social Club. And I want to get this out really quick. This Southampton Social Club scene was so distracting to me, because you watch that scene and they are like in a sectioned off pen with security guards all around them, with just the 9 of them. And then whenever they show a scene outside of that little pen, you see that the entire bar is just staring at them and filming them like they are in a zoo. It is quite possibly the worst example I've ever seen of a cast having to be in a real life element and how the other people in that world treat them. It was probably the most awkward thing in the world for them all to be just watched like that by everybody in the city. Yeah,
there's at one point Amanda is getting into it with Kyle, and then she goes over to Sierra and she goes, "Be cool because people are filming." And I was like, oh yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm not cool at all. Like, I'm the last person. I just told you the most uncool shit of my stories of my life. But you just have at least to pretend that you don't have to just focus nonstop on people filming. Like, talk to your friends and then look over with your eye every once in a while and be like, that's kind of an interesting scene. This was like every single person was just staring the entire time at them.
Yeah, I mean, probably another omen that the show needs to pivot,
Yeah,
like it's
untenable. I was almost like, don't film at those places. It was too distracting. But Kyle's going, there's 2 tables. Ben's over with Sierra and Amanda, and then Kyle is with Jesse and West and KJ.
Yes.
And
by the way, KJ's like a little sweetie.
Oh yeah.
Because last week we saw that he told Wes that he was having anxiety, and so then Wes checks in with him before they go out, and he's like, "I'm much better now. Like every time we check in, I feel better." And he was like, "How does this compare to last summer?" And Wes is like, "It's so much better." He described himself last summer as tiptoe god.
Yeah.
And he was like, everything seems way more chill now. So, but yeah, his innocence and naivete comes into play in this next conversation, because Kyle is lit. He's venting about Amanda. Jesse's like, "I've never seen you jealous before." And he goes, "I probably shouldn't be saying this, but Amanda smokes weed every single night." And West, I don't know why I'm like infantilize him as if he's not a sexual human being. I know that he is, but he goes, "When do you guys fuck?" And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was sowing his oats on this Southampton Social Club.
I feel like I've just never usually hear people say that to their married friends. Like, when do you guys fuck? It's like, oh my God.
Oh, you should hear my house. you should see here my house. We talk like this all the time. Oh my God. Me and my friends, we say stuff like this all the time. We say,
But
when are you going to fuck?
Kyle's like, is that a joke? He was like, she's high off her ass.
Yeah.
We're not
He's like,
doing shit.
it's hard to fuck when somebody's doing volcano bong rips with a gas mask on their head. And it's like, Kyle, did you have to say volcano rips and really paint a picture? This gets into like, that's the problem. Like, it was almost
Right.
like, you need a scapegoat, and it's weed. It's Cheech and Chong behavior. Like, I was just like, there's other shit going on.
He's
He goes,
like,
and-
my house is like Harold and fucking Kumar.
yeah, he goes, are we going to get to White Castle soon? Because Harold and Kumar over there won't keep ripping weed. It's like, okay, yeah, that's the problem. And then he goes, and then it stinks like a frat house, and it looks like a frat house. There's chips and dip everywhere. It looks like Harold and Kumar just got back from White Castle. It's like,
He goes, it's like the series of the Hoarders.
he goes, it's like that series of hoarders that you've seen in your life, and everybody's like, you're painting a picture. Thank you, Kyle. And then he goes, I had to beg you. This is another tidbit we don't need
Again, Tom Sandoval 2.0. He goes, not cleaning the litter box. I buy all the batteries.
Tom was like, I have to sneak and clean the litter box. I had to put those Benihana skewers in your trash. If you left them there, they'd be skewered on your nightstand forever. And then this is Kyle. This is like on the edit or whatever. Amanda's not gonna. I don't think this is like a very fun thing to share with your friends at a social club. So he goes, I even had to call her mom and say, please clean up after your daughter. Clean our place. How quickly can you get to Manhattan?
Your 32-year-old daughter, please help me. She's so beyond control.
The cleaning people quit. They said, no, we can't come back. It's too filthy. And then, in the edit, it was like, yeah, there were nerds gummy ropes and obviously there was a lot of like, paraphernalia and shit, but it didn't look like.
Dude, it goes back into my theory that with Ariana and with Amanda, it's giving depression core. They're like, my husband/boyfriend pisses me off to no end. I hate my life. I'm not cleaning the litter box.
We hate our life together. We hate our life together. We are miserable together. But it sounds like I have to keep always noting that independently, a lot of people told them that they all seem happy, just not with each other. Like, people are acknowledging that Amanda seems really happy, that Kyle has this outlet of DJing, but they are miserable with each other. Everyone knows it. And it's almost like, like they need to acknowledge how bad it is on camera to each other. And then Amanda hears her name. I'm almost positive she like hears a whisper, knowing like Kyle is probably talking fucking shit. Like, what the hell is he saying over there? She stands behind him. West goes, hey, Amanda, or whatever, that classic
Look
cue.
out.
And then KJ goes, which is, I thought it was so sweet and like just natural. He goes, well, we're here for you, whatever you need. And everybody's like, oh my God, that makes it sound so bad. Like, he was
Wes
just
like,
shit.
oh boy.
But it was such a natural thing to say, but it gets Kyle, it gets Kyle in trouble with Amanda a little bit, because Amanda goes, what does he need help with? What are you here for? Tell me now, because I'm going to see it on camera in 6 months. So you better say it now. And then Kyle waits for a second. She goes, Kat got your goddamn tongue. You've been talking your ass off to everyone else. And he goes, what does he say? Because he doesn't say the weed thing. He says,
no, he's just like, you're so disinterested in me. Like, I want companionship. You don't give me shit. And she's like, well, that's not true. And he's like, come on. And he's just like getting pissed. And then in the corner, KJ's like, well, I'm in trouble. And West goes, you're being cute. You're totally fine. Like, they let him off the hook. It's funny. But yeah, everyone else knows to try and diffuse. He hasn't learned yet that he needs to try and diffuse their fights, which is now just on everyone's plate all the time, is like tiptoeing around. Talk about tiptoe God.
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. And then Amanda goes, you tell everyone else our problems, and then you don't tell me how you feel. And it's more of this like vague stuff that he says, like, you're disinterested, instead of being like whatever he was actually telling his friends about how he feels. And that's continuing too. They don't, I think Amanda at some point later in the episode was like, we never talked about anything for a full weekend. We just like got back to the house and we didn't resolve any of our issues until Kyle has that toast. Oh, but they go out even more after this. And Kyle is drunk as a skunk again.
Yeah.
He comes in and he looks like Weekend at Bernie's 2, starring Kyle Cook, where he's got sunglasses on and he's just going like this. And Bailey's like, "Where's your room? Do I need to take you to your room?" And he's like, "Oh, he can't even
He's
speak."
like, I gotta
He's so drunk.
piss. And they're like, someone bring him to the bathroom. And Carl's like, oh boy. They're all just kind of like, he's very Weekend at Bernie's coded.
Apparently he like tripped at the social house. After he runs in, he goes, "I can't deal with this." He goes, "I can't deal with this. I got to go to this group of people that are staring at me." He like goes into them, and then apparently he just ate shit and he busted his forehead like on a table.
Yeah.
Like got
They
really
implied
fucking...
that he was bordering on getting kicked out.
Yes.
They were like, everyone agreed that it was time for him to go, including the security.
And then while Kyle is away, the cats will play, or no, the mice will play. When the cat is away,
Right.
the mice will play. Wes gets behind the DJ booth and he's kind of spinning some stuff. I would have loved to hear it. He was kind of like, "How do I work
know.
this thing?" Like, holy shit.
We have to check his IG roundups for the
Yeah.
songs that we're missing.
Yep. Okay. Morning comes for all of us. Sometimes, unless you pass away before it, but morning comes for a lot of them. Everyone wakes up and
Yeah.
and
Carl
they're fine.
is like, hello, sweet roommates. Who wants bagels? Like, he's so, it's almost like, I'm like, what? Like, Prozac are you on? He's so positive.
Carl was always nice. Carl was always nice. It's not a new lease on life. His anger was always kind of weird and drunk. Like, it was
Mhm.
drunk and weird energy whenever he was like, I don't even want to say the word. I'll never say it again that Lindsay Hubbard uttered.
See, Carl.
But yeah, when he was C Carl, which what an awful thing to say about someone.
I'm still mad.
He never
Taking it to the grave.
I know. But it was just so off. I really felt like his true spirit was being just a good person.
More life.
And then total more life philosophy. Absolutely. And so I think that he actually has gotten back to innately what he wanted to be like. I really will say that. Because I was never deterred from me thinking that Carl was a good person. Besides we've talked about this 100 times, throwing watermelons that one time. I was like, who cares? Running
that's
after Luke in his
why
underwear.
I can't wait to understand what triggers him to become violent at the end of whenever this is, the end of the season.
Because he's sticking up for Amanda's honor. Kyle is probably...
I can't even imagine him getting that furious,
Because Kyle is going to disrespect Amanda, and Carl's going to be like, "You shall not say something like that in my presence." It's going to be, this is, Barry Lyndon keeps coming back. He's like Barry Lyndon when that British officer tries to marry his cousin, and he's sexually attracted to his cousin. He's like,
a reference everyone will
the white
know
glove is
wide
out.
and clear.
The best scene of Barry Lyndon, no spoilers, is when Barry Lyndon can't toast the newly engaged couple, and he throws a wine in that officer's face. I'm like, oh my God, that is fucking awesome. But no, Carl it's about respecting Amanda. That's why he's going to get fired up. But he goes, "Bagels, anyone?" And Bailey's like, "I'm astonished by this nice person." So you've got two majorly nice people in the house. If you count Carl and West, like, that's a nice household.
Yeah.
With those two people running around.
I was a little bit like, Carl, I mean, I guess that was just him saying, I'm going to get bagels, because he goes, who wants bagels? And they were like, I do. And I'm like, he's obviously going to get bagels for everybody. You're not going to just be like, well, you didn't reply.
Yeah, he's going, I'll just have 24. He'll be like, a lot of people didn't reply, but I bet they're going to appreciate when bagels show up. Speaking of bagels, Sailgate party had
Sorry. I was distracted. I got a text that I read for too long.
It was the most, like, the dumbest aside I've ever made in my life. Okay, so then we've got morning energy. We love this energy in the morning. If you're lucky enough to wake up each morning, you love having a morning like this. Sierra goes, "Jesse, I want to get in bed with you," and it's so sweet. Like, they're continuing the bed bugs.
Yeah, she's like putting a new lease on the bed bugs. I don't know why I'm surprised, because they've always been like this, but I'm like, they are like so snugglebug.
They're so cute. I'm like West and Sierra, the cutest couple of all time. I root for you to like.
But like, I don't want them to date.
West and Sierra? Why not?
Oh, no,
Oh,
Jesse.
no. That's what I'm saying. I was almost gonna say, I was almost like, oh my God, no, like I think Jesse and Sierra are wonderful too. Like I love their relationship too. No, so tell me why. But I was just gonna be like, if we can't have West and Sierra for some reason, they couldn't make it work. That's one of the relationships that I think is like, that would be so amazing if they were able to work it out. But I love Jesse and Sierra too. What makes you
I like
say
the fun flirtation, but I don't want them to actually date. And then later when he goes, hey, West, like, would it be cool if I made out with Sierra? I'm like, how dare you?
Oh, okay. Can I ask why you don't like
Because
Jesse
he knows
and
that
Oh.
it wouldn't work. It would go so south. It would not be friends anymore.
You think that Jesse and you think that Jesse and Sierra just they wouldn't work out, and then it
No.
would ruin their friendship? Okay. Well, do you want to? Why?
It just wouldn't. I
Huh?
just know. He would fuck it up and like be weird. And like, remember how bad the Lexi shit went last year? Like he like implodes when under fire.
Okay. All right. So their friendship, this cute friendship, is so sacred that you don't want it sullied by them even making an
Yeah,
attempt to
and
ever
it
date.
would break West's heart, obviously.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he even thought he could ask that is so ridiculous to me. Like, what about bro code?
Huh. All right. Well, I can't wait to talk about bro code when we get there. I mean, I felt like I think that I can't imagine someone more respectful than Jesse asking that, because I don't think that no. You know what I mean? I don't think that Jesse, in his mind, thinks that there would ever be a chance of Wes and Sierra ever getting back
It doesn't
together.
matter.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, let's put a pin in this for when this actually comes up, because I think this is interesting. I think I have a little bit of a different philosophy on this, but I appreciate that you adhere to that sacred code.
Yeah, because it's like unresolved, you know? Like it's not if it was like 10 years ago, like Paige and Carl made out in the pantry and then someone was like, you know, started dating Paige, you wouldn't be like, oh, like, but they had a whole thing happen that is barely, they're tiptoeing their way to friendship again, to the point where Jesse is being like, are you going to be cool with Wes? Talking about the petting zoo. They're doing these check-ins. I'm like, it's a tenuous thing still. And you're going to swoop in and be like, can I make out with her? It's like, no.
Wow. Damn. All right. Okay. I mean, I completely have not even thought about it in that light of like, to honor what came before, you know, between West and Sierra, and let them have a chance at a future if it's possible. I haven't gotten to that point yet, because I think that I haven't even been able to accept that Sierra and West might ever become a couple again. Like, you know what I mean? So I totally understand. And I'm kind of excited that you feel this way, because it seems like that's going to be a huge plot point coming up, you know, and
Yeah.
we're going to be able to debate the merits of it.
Right.
When
And
it
you
comes
can
up.
tell from the clip where he goes, would you be mad if I made out with Sierra? West goes, is that a possibility? Like, is that something that's in question? So his immediate response is like, what the hell? Not like, of course.
Yeah, I think I've had bro code sort of like shattered, like in my personal life and with all of my friends' lives, that like I don't even really like. I think that it needs to be like really, really dissected and looked at like in every like sort of ethical step of the way, for it to just be a kind of, instead of being just like a universal rule that we don't ever tamper
I'm
with
not
it.
like without fail applying the bro code, but in this specific instance that we know every single part of, I think it's fucked up. And I think that relationship went beyond. It wasn't like they hooked up and like, it was like they dated, and it like ended in a heartbreaking fashion that left them both shattered. So it's not like it was meaningless. It was like they actually dated.
So Jesse should, like, if West and Sierra continued like they were last season, and Sierra was like, I am never talking to this person. I think he's awful how he treated me. Would Jesse? I'm really asking. Is Jesse still adhering to the fact that a relationship existed between them, and he shouldn't ever try to make it
If
work
you
with
care
Sierra?
about the vibe of the house,
Damn. All right.
like that's horrible. Like,
So what
are you
about-
kidding me?
So what about Carl?
What about him?
When he said, I love you, Sierra, I wish we could date, and in the future, in an alternate reality, you and I are dating.
Well, Jesse and West are besties. so it's even deeper. Carl knows Sierra way longer than West. And if that was something that actually was going to happen and it happened like pure of heart, like, but that would be shocking to me. And I think it would still be heartbreaking for West, but he'd be like, what the hell? Whereas with Jesse, it's like, he's like, has sinister, like, he's more sinister than Carl.
Really? I don't think of Jesse that way at all. I really, I thought that when we were talking about him and Lexi, we were like, what the hell is happening? I didn't think that he ever made himself look awful. I think that it was just a relationship that went sour really quickly because they both escalated to like boyfriend and girlfriend within like 3 weeks. But I thought that Jesse handled it decently well. I mean, I went in completely even forgetting any bad behavior that he had last season. So I don't find that Jesse to have ulterior motives for wanting to kiss Sierra or think that he might be in love with her.
You do not think he's in love with her?
I think he might be in love with her.
Oh.
I think he could possibly be in love with her. And he says, like, can we kiss as the first step of me possibly trying to be on the road to a relationship? I don't think that Jesse would try to like burn Sierra in any way. But that's just my opinion of him.
Okay. I just think it would crash and burn. And I think that it would make West very upset and it would kill the vibe of the house. And so for that reason alone, that's the thing. It's like, you say that you can apply different angles to bro code, which I think is true. But ultimately, if it makes the other person uncomfortable, even if they say they're okay with it, it's a little bit rotten. It's like the Charlie, Sally, Craig thing where it's like, because it's like cursed in this fashion, whether or not it's about like, if it's actually ethical, it's like, it puts a bad stink on it. And so it unless you were really just one in a mill supposed to make it work, it's probably just going to be rotten.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to keep asking questions, but I just feel like this is definitely a different, a difference of opinions here. But I didn't know you felt that way. I mean,
I love the preview. Yeah, has a lot with that where Sierra goes, I want a Christian husband. And he goes, well, I believe in God because he's famously Jewish. And so they're all like, could he work? And it's like, I like this. It's like bubbling on the side. And then we get the tease that Wes says that he wants to kiss Sierra again. They have a moment where someone says, I think Wes is in love with her. They show a moment of them like touching and crying, have a conversation crying. And I'm like, I mean, both of those things happening at the same time is for a great show. So whatever happens, I'm invested, of course.
Okay.
So.
All right. I mean, wow, we've got stuff to look forward to coming up. There's a moment where it really shows Kyle's energy, or like, is a pretty good example of sort of this angry energy that he's bringing for every moment of this season so far. Amanda leaves Kyle immediately and wants to go into the bed with Jesse and Sierra and like be sweet and talk about stuff. And Kyle goes, where the hell is everybody? Fuck. He goes, God, I hate this. And then he peeks in Jesse's room. And he goes, God, this fucking energy sucks in here in the bed like that. Oh my God. And then he goes out for a run, and then Carl comes back and he goes, I got a bunch of bagels and I was screaming bagels, Kyle, out the window. I was like, Kyle, bagels. And Kyle just didn't even look at Carl as he was driving by. He just kept running like he was in a horrible mood. So even Carl knows.
Yeah. Kyle's just muttering around the house. He's like, I'm sick of this. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like, fuck. Then we get a in the city meetup. Sierra and Lindsay Hubbard. Amanda joins too. They're going for drinks. She's like, I feel like I'm back. I'm getting a Hugo Spritz. I've survived my breakup, raising my kid. She's in good spirits. But then, of course, they just ultimately talk about how Amanda and Kyle's marriage is doomed. Yeah.
Yep. I'll say it. I'll say it. I need Lindsay on Summer House. I felt like until you see her again, you realize that a piece was missing. And there's something so beautiful to me that everyone has had sort of antagonistic relationship with Lindsay over the years, you know, in different ways, and that everyone has eventually rallied to being like, I fucking love Lindsay. She can do the craziest shit, like call Carl, see Carl, but we've just been friends for 8 years or 5 years that it just eventually ends up bonding people no matter what. So I love just Sierra checking in with Lindsay in the scene. I thought it was sweet. Amanda meeting up with her. They're being so they're just really acknowledging Lindsay, and you can tell that this friendship has been like forged through fire over years, and I really like
Right.
it. And then Lindsay is the one that sort of has a connection to Kyle, like where she is a true mediator between Amanda, whereas Sierra and Paige were always so like Team Amanda. But I feel like Lindsay, in a way, tries to look at everything from both sides. But she goes, "Guess what? Kyle called me, and he was like, this weekend was horrible. Amanda doesn't pay any attention to me. He feels so alone." And Amanda goes, "Well, he feels so alone because we don't talk about any of the fucking shit we're going through. Did he mention the fact that he's partying his ass off all of the time, and he went out with his brother, and his brother came home and he slept at a fan's house until 6:30 a.m. And you can tell that Lindsay was like, "No, he didn't tell me that. That is you're painting a different picture completely than the kind of shit." You know what I mean? It's like, here's the rationale. Here's what you really need to know. Here's why I'm withdrawn and I don't give a fuck about Kyle anymore. It's because of shit like this, which is
Right.
what she tells Lindsay in this moment.
Right. Yeah, I did appreciate that Lindsay brought that angle where she's like, I talked to him and he feels alone. I was like, oh yeah, she's serving as the OG sounding board. But yeah, they are shocked to hear that update. And then we get sort of the other side of it. Carl and Kyle meet up at Carl's Brooklyn apartment. He is living the Brooklyn life. And he said that he's getting a new lease on New York because after the breakup with Lindsay, he considered moving to Charleston, which I was like, Papa do, or even home to Pittsburgh. But Brooklyn, he was like, this is totally fresh. I assume I know Soft Bar's in Greenpoint and he's on the water, so I assume he lives in Greenpoint.
I think he does, because I watched his Architectural Digest apartment. Sorry, no, not. It was an ad for apartments.com. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But it was really cool. It was so cool. Like, I forget that how like entertaining it is to see someone's place when you don't see it and you just know them as like a Bravo celebrity. But it was kind of fun. Like, he walked around his place. He was like, I love it so much. He's like, I'm between the J and the K. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what the hell that means. Or subway stations.
Oh, the
It's like, I don't
train.
know. Yeah, trains. He was like, I always wanted to be between the J and the K. And I was like, okay, I don't know what that means, but that is so awesome. So yeah, that's exactly where he is. And Kyle goes, I stopped at the coffee store before I got here, and I got a coffee. And I really loved this talk. You could really chalk it up to Kyle being like, I've got a little more shit that I'm dealing with. And it could be seen as an excuse, but I know how hard it is for Kyle to admit stuff like this. And this is when he talks about the state of Loverboy,
Right.
which I was shocked by. I really didn't think that we would ever have Kyle talking about Loverboy like this in this scene with Carl.
Well, I have been growing concerned over the past few years because I feel like if he was going to sell it for a big value, that should have happened already, because I feel like that, again, I'm not a food and beverage expert or like but I'm like, that space has only become more and more and more flooded over the years, whereas he kind of got in at a good time, and I feel like if he was going to sell the brand, it should have happened already. So I'm a little bit like, it's only going to be diminishing from here, which he does say that their distribution has gone down, which means their revenue has gone down. He had to put $500,000 of his own money in. He stopped taking a salary in October. So that's however many months is that, like almost a year. And so he goes, which I appreciated this information where he goes, I used to incur costs to go promote in nightlife. And he goes, now I get paid to go. And I was like, I never really thought about it as a side, like a companion piece to promoting alcohol. And when he said that, I was like, that's actually smart, not to give him, credit, and he could still be more responsible about how much he's drinking and how late he's staying out. But I was like, that actually makes total sense.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to go to Charleston. Like, But does that mean like it's a part of his DJ enterprise to go to Charleston and start DJing, but then he can already be there to go to Total Wine and Spirits?
Well,
Or,
it's probably like I bet the nights that he DJs are sponsored by Loverboy or whatever.
Oh,
Like it's like
right.
a promotional tie-in.
Right. He really gave us a peek behind the curtain there. And then he also says, he goes, I haven't been getting a salary, so I'm making money as a DJ now. It's good because we need money. Like he was just like, well, I'm kind of financially struggling a little bit, which I think was shocking for me to hear. So he's really given us the spin, no pin intent, no, the spin. He's really given us the spin, no pun intended, with his DJ, why he does his DJ career. And Carl's like, hey, he's like, I'm the most sympathetic voice in the world. He's just nodding. He's like, I would give the shirt off my back for Kyle. Good to hear all of this stuff.
Yeah, I will say, so like, we always, I would say, are on Amanda's side with this shit that like his poor behavior, his like being reckless in that regard. But he says something here where he's like, she's sort of painting this horrible picture that I'm just this piece of shit that all I ever do is get drunk and like fuck up. And it's like, okay, but like in the background, he's running a millions of dollar business because he's so highly functioning that he can do both somehow. But it's like she subsists off of that lifestyle as well. So it's like she can't just say, I think that his ambition and her being more of a bedbug is one of their main problems.
Yeah, of course. It's we've talked about this before. They're fundamentally different, and it's something that everyone clocked the minute they started dating for the entire run and the lead up until their marriage, and now it's kind of it's showing what people always believed.
Yeah, it's like she did that. We got to see that bikini collab that she did last year. I haven't heard much more since. It didn't, she didn't like really like take the world by storm with that idea. And Kyle, as problematic as it is for his marriage, he said he wanted to be a DJ, and then he's booked every weekend for the whole year. So it's like when he says he wants to do something, he'll just do it. And I feel like for her, she's dreaming and she has these things that she like would love to do, but she's ultimately like, it's not really her vibe to be a hustler, which like I totally get because I'm not like that either. But I think she gets pissed. I think she feels judged for that, which he is. He's like, she's a stoner. It's like what Schwartz or Sandoval were saying about Katie and Ariana, where they're like, they just fucking sit around. Or Jack's about Brittany, like, she's keeping Postmates in business. And it's like, you either like that about her or you don't.
Right. Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. The only, and I see that side of it. It's like, that's why it's so like informative to hear, Kyle talk about it as well. I just think that the one that critique, which I know you feel this way too, is that like he could just be like chugging water in his Loverboy can, and then just be like, I'm going to my hotel now and I don't party my ass off. Like I think that Amanda can't separate the stain of what he does as a DJ when she's like, Diplo drinks water and then he goes to bed and he meditates in the morning. He doesn't keep fucking partying with a bunch of fans that want to hang out with him. So there's but all of this is just like, I think we both agree. It's like you just like you're like we already said, you're miserable together. You're not. This
right.
is you
it's
don't
like
find
he doesn't
any
want to come home because he hates his life.
Yeah, you don't find anything about each other endearing anymore, and you will be so much better when you guys are with different people who understand you and love you and cherish those traits in you. So
when I introduced myself, I was like with West, and then we were near Kyle, and I think Kyle was like, do I know you? To me, and I was like, no, but I introduced myself, and then West was like, she has a podcast. They're like really nice. Like they're they're not haters. They're really nice. And Kyle goes, I could use a little of that right now.
Yeah. West always says that we're the nicest podcast he's ever heard in his life. It's like I
know. I'm like, I'm not always that nice, but
yeah.
okay.
I was like, I was like, you should hear some of this shit that Amy and I say. Like we curse.
We're like crazy.
We talk about sex.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I talk about rock music. If you get me on a good day, I'll bend your ear about rock and
Hail
roll
Satan.
and sex. We said something about Satan earlier. Like this isn't just your average like nice
E for
podcast.
explicit.
This is we've said this before. When Megaphone asks me what the hell I'm marking this thing, I say explicit, and I go, is there an even worse one called like filthy as hell? Because every single episode has cursing and mean tinged things. So I don't know where Wes got this nice podcast.
I know. He thinks we're like Mormons. On YouTube, I check not made for kids.
Oh, I say that. Me too. If I ever get the reins on the YouTube, I go, are you kidding? Could you imagine a kid, 17 or 16, putting this for 2 hours and hearing sex, cursing, and rude takes? Like hot takes that are sometimes border on being potentially rude or offensive. I'm like, no, this is not made.
Rude.
This is crude. But okay, but then guess what? Great job in the city, guys. I love New York City, that energy, but let's get the hell out of there and let's start ripping ass to the Hamptons because we're back.
Jesse goes, I like my suitcase.
So fun to hear that again. I got to peek at your notes beforehand, and I go, when the hell does Jesse say I like my suitcase? And then he does it right as he's coming up the stairs. That meme is
2025, baby.
It's one of the memes that have stood the test of time. I like my suitcase. And then they're all in the back. And apparently, I think the Airbnb owners or whoever the hell actually owns this got a bunch of new outdoor furniture. Or maybe they got it for the run of the summer because everybody's like, oh my God, this is great. Like,
yeah, and the door's fixed.
Yep, the door is fixed. And Wes does a little runway show with his outfit, which I thought was fun. He puts a hat on. And then we get a new cast member. I mean, I have to say it. Sierra brings someone named Mia that apparently Amanda says she's known since she moved to New York City. And Sierra is now bringing this new friend to the summer house. And everybody has like, the reactions of a new person. They're like love and life. Sierra gives Mia Jesse's bedroom, I believe. But Jesse takes it in stride. He's like, take my bedroom. I don't give a shit. So
yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then they're outside all on the new furniture, and the boys are talking about how fucked up Kyle was last weekend. They're like, we're gonna go to such and such club, and he goes, I would love to get my credit card back. And they go, and your forehead skin off of the table when you slammed it. And Amanda's like, what? And he's like, I had a bad weekend. I was overcompensating, just whatever. I drank too much. And she goes, you're just making one great decision after the other. And she hates him.
But it's like, it's just like, it just, like when she says like, I hate him fucking going out and drinking. And then it's like, the bar called, you need your forehead skin back. It's like, my God, could you be any worse? Like, this is horrible.
West is like, that's that's an ordinary day for me too. And she goes, well, are you married? And he's like, no. And she's like, shut up then.
Yeah. She goes, shut up, West. Mia worked at the box.
I know.
And I go, oh my God. I go, you and I, when we're going to New York City, when we're on Watch What Happens Live as the bartenders, I know, talk about like you and I having fun partying. Like I want to go to McSorley's and I want to go to the box because it is becoming kind of a staple of New York City Bravo commentary. So I think we have to.
I didn't know it had been there that long. I had only heard of it recently. But she said she worked there for like 10 years or 10 years ago or something. But I'm a little scared of that place, but I would go.
Oh, I'm going. We please just indulge me. Let me go.
But I hear they poop on the stage.
Well, that's just one of those things where it's like, you and I are like, like we're kind of, rated R sometimes. And sometimes you have to, when you're watching a rated R movie, you close your
that
eyes.
Don't scare me none.
Yeah. I close my eyes. I go, oh my God. I go, is this Wes Anderson movie rated R? Because I hope there's not a lot of like cursing in it or whatever. But you just close your eyes and you get through it. It's like, and so
the Pit had a lot of poop last week.
Really?
Yeah, an impacted bowel. Yeah.
Oh, can I just say something, please? This Hedge Night show that I'm loving, everyone loves it. It's called A Night of the Hedge Night, and it's so cool, and everyone loves it if you're a Game of Thrones head. This Ira Parker guy, he's putting... you said that word, right, with the P? He's putting that kind of stuff. It starts with a P and it rhymes with soup.
SHIT.
I'll call it shit. Speaking of not made for kids, YouTube, get ready. This guy's putting shit in every single person has to take a prolonged shit, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on with this prestige TV show that I love, where this guy has to throw in this kind of stuff? So Hedge Knight, I'm looking at you askance. I'm saying, what the hell is going on with all this kind of stuff? Or you don't know Game of Thrones, so you're not watching Hedge Knight, right?
I'm not.
Well, people, Game of Thrones heads, you know what I'm talking about. Hedge Knight just pulled off a phenomenal episode 4. We were screaming. Like, you could have heard people scream in the universe, because we had a good episode, but they got to get rid of this sort of like angle of where people are taking huge dumps every day. But anyway, Carl goes, "What's for dinner?" And Mia goes, "Are you guys allergic to anything?" And Kyle goes, "Just carbs." And I was like, oh my God, Carl, I'll never forget when Kyle says, "I'm allergic to carbs." And I remember Kyle said 4 seasons ago, he was like, "I don't let a carb enter my mouth from like February until like September. You know, he will not touch a carb just for his." I don't know why, but he just doesn't like
Too bad
carbs.
It's a spaghetti dinner and chicken cutlets. Sierra never cooks, but she is going to this time. And then there's a sweet moment where Sierra and KJ have an extended heart-to-heart out on the new lawn furniture. And they just immediately, she feels safe around him, I think, and they're talking about their parents and their childhoods and their parents' divorces. Sierra's crying. She says that she doesn't want to repeat the toxic pattern of her parents, and that, you know, she wants to have a better situation for her future family, and how she's grappling with being softer because she puts up too much of a boundary. And she's fully crying. She's like embarrassed, and KJ's like, absolutely not. But like, everything we've seen from him so far is like, let's talk about it. Like, we are there for you.
I loved this conversation, and I love when KJ was like, we're going to learn from our parents and we'll be better. And I was like, oh my God, that is so true. I mean, I couldn't be ever better than my wonderful parents, but still, a lot of people feel that way. I could never be better than my wonderful parents, who I love, but some people are like, if there's something wrong, you know, like they're like, I want to, like, if they were raised badly, they're like, I'll never be that type of parent. I want to raise my kids better. So I thought this was a really sweet moment between KJ and Sierra. And Sierra said on Watch What Happens Live, it was like, who did you bond with the most? And she was like, KJ. I love him so much. I was like, well, scenes like this, it's very clear why. There is a little bit of talk where Bailey and Levi are like, what the fuck is going on with Kyle and Amanda? This is so bad. Oh my God. And Ben checks in with Kyle. He's like, what's going on? You guys are doing horrible. And Kyle goes, it's like being married to a cactus, which I guess is horrible. If you're,
prickly.
Yeah.
This all leads to dinner. Kyle starts it out by doing a toast that seems like a normal toast, but then he's sort of like, I wanted to apologize for, you know, airing some dirty laundry, and let my emotions get the best of me. And Sierra's sort of like, what the fuck? Like, her and Amanda make eye contact and start dogging on him. And it's a little like, it's like, okay, like, you can think what he's doing is like annoying, or like, why do we have to sit through this? But it's like rude. Like, she's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, okay. Kyle hates being interrupted at dinner. It's probably his number one least favorite thing that gets him angry. I swear that I could probably find 4 examples of him leaving the table. I mean, one of the biggest moments in history was when Hannah and Paige couldn't stop talking during a speech, and he's like, I've got a little more stuff I'm saying in this toast. Like,
the table.
Yeah, he just gets pissed, and he has this thing about respect or whatever, where he feels disrespected and it gets him so angry. So I'm almost on the side of like people, it makes it worse when he goes, he goes, can I just say something? Then people are like it just, like, if he could, like, West, if he was giving a toast, would have some de-escalating thing that would be funny and silly, and you work with it, like a him, tap, like, there are different ways. But then Kyle being angry, you can't help but being like, calm down. I need more respect, damn it. I like to say
Yeah.
things. It was long-winded. It was
And
getting a
everyone
little.
at the table is like, oh boy. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
it was. And Amanda goes, "I'm sorry, but you don't have to." She was being like decently respectful. She's like, "I'm sorry, but you don't have to. Like, you could have just told me. You don't have to tell the table." And he's like, "I'm thrown off. I don't like laughing." And then she goes, "Yeah, you could have just told me this directly." And he goes, "All right, well, I'm gonna go fuck myself." And he takes his chair and he slams it down, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" I'm rarely at dinners where people say, "All right, I have to leave dinner because I'm gonna go fuck myself pretty soon." It's like, oh my God!
Yeah.
But Kyle does that a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, he goes into the kitchen, slams the door, the art falls off the wall. You're like, oh my God, don't wake daddy. It's so bad.
That's a funny Don't Wake Daddy edition where it's like disrespect daddy at dinner, and it's like, "Ah! Talk about lover boy in a bad way for 1 second. Drink a Truly.
Daddy's in over his head.
Drink a Truly on camera." Ah! It's like you could really, really spoil Kyle's mood with a Don't Wake Daddy.
Yeah.
A series of steps.
Everyone's just like, damn. And they're going to have to go through this so many more times. Next week, it seems like already we're going to get that beach scene that we've seen teased a million times where he's like, how about our chemistry, our intimacy, and our compatibility? He's like, I got a little more going on.
I love that that's a quote. I've got a little more going on, Amanda, in terms of compromise. Like everyone is just like, I don't know. I
It
agree
just
with
sucks.
you.
Like, it's just like, it's a horrible situation for the house.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows how it is to be around a couple like that where you're like, dear God, like,
yeah.
This is so awkward.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse when daddy slams the door and then the painting flies off the walls. You're like, God, oh no, it was such a slam that even the art fell off. It's like, that is, somebody's pissed when art falls off the walls. He has this, this holding court thing. Part of him was like, I'm in the middle of a scene, damn it. Like, respect me as the OG of the house. But it just taps into that thing I'm talking about where he's just perpetually angry during the season. So absolutely every little thing pisses him off, and it's very clear here. Next week, it seems like it's going to get worse. Like you said, Sierra says, I want to marry a Christian man, and Jesse goes, well, I believe in God. And this episode was so good. I think Summer House is, I think my favorite show, to talk about with you. And it's almost like it's really never bad to me. Like, it's just I love all these cast members so much. So I'm so happy for the future. And go ahead.
No, I just, when I was talking to West, he was like, he said something that I'm sure he said before, but he was saying, we all just actually like each other. And I was like, yeah, we can tell.
Totally.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember when Schwartz went to the house? Did I say this last week? And he was like, never lose this. He was like, my friend group lost this. We hate each other. He goes, this is everything. Stay like this. And I was like, oh my God, like Schwartz knows his fucking show was burned to the ground because of the fractured relationships. And Summer House is not even coming close to that.
That's why stuff like this, when, Kyle pops off on Sierra and she's sort of like rolling her eyes and is like, Jesus Christ. It works because then you see her on Watch What Happens Live like last week and she goes, I love him. Like we're great friends even after the separation. So it's like you can talk shit about that the way he's acting is ridiculous and that he needs to get a grip. But ultimately it's like they are friends.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I feel like I can always defend somebody to a certain extent because they all actually still come back together.
Absolutely. I think you're so right to be like, look at him at like Amanda, like we were talking about on Watch What Happens Live. Like she still like thinks Kyle is so sweet for that heartfelt speech and they're in a good place. Like she's not throwing him to the wolves in any way. She still loves him and has respect for him. So I like that too. I think you're completely right. Do you want to rip? I'm talking like get on Jurassic World, the ride, which is one of the fastest rides that you can ever go on. And just I want to go down that big Jurassic World luge ride fast as hell through this Vanderpump Rules episode, which I think has the hallmarks of being fun. But I was telling you before we started recording, I can't fault anyone who says I can't watch this at all. I cannot be the person that personally I would feel like Sisyphus rolling the biggest boulder in the world. Even Sisyphus would be like, that's too big of a boulder. You can't even get that up every day before it rolls back down. I'm not gonna. I watched this with Megan, and I'm gonna call her out. She's like, this is so bad. Like, and I'm just like, all right, well, I don't know what to do. And I will say that the scene in which they go to Universal Studios and they're wearing Harry Potter robes, and the guy has lightning on his head, and Audrey's wearing or she's got a spell and she's doing Ventus apparatus. I was like, if you saw that scene isolated for 15 seconds and you showed it to any Vanderpump Rules fans, they're saying, what the fuck? This is the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
NBC Universal put the hammer down. They're like, you will be going to the parks.
Well, yeah, and even that. I mean, even having to suffer through a 15-minute ad, which I thought was insane, just seeing them walking around at Universal with Harry Potter robes, I was like, I can't defend this. I mean, there's a lot of context that goes into it, and there actually is something monumental that happens, but this is fucking bad. Going to the Isla New bar and ordering Jurassic World water or whatever, I was like, oh my God.
No.
This... so, there's only, we got the screeners for the last of the season. They're giving it to us, and I am so thankful, to get these screeners. But the season is coming to a close. And I feel like they didn't do themselves any favors with this one, I just have to go with the people around me. And I don't know if we've convinced any Turtle Time listeners to like actually listen to Vanderpump Rules, but let's just kind of, go through this one because it really doesn't need the big, emphatic Turtle Time treatment, I don't think.
No. I was excited to revisit Villa Rosa because I feel like that's been less of a part of this iteration where they used to go there all the time. I love seeing that Rocio is still employed, loyal, mother of the house. And they're there as always for bullshit reasons. They're going to take some photos for Pride flyers. Chris is like, like Lisa makes me horny. And Lisa shouts over the banister. She goes, keep dreaming, guys.
Yeah.
And they're like, keep drinking. We could do that.
Yeah. And he's like, I will dream about being horny for you. He kind of has a good retort. He goes, I'll dream about being horny, Lisa. And they're going to be doing these photos. But like you said, I remember this from the other Vanderpump Rules where they're like, I need to go to your house to make the flyer. It's like, okay, well, say whatever you want. You
cares?
And then they have talk about explicit. They have their rear ends exposed. And Lisa goes, naughty. She goes, do these butts, no, what does she say? She goes, 2 rear ends. And they go, Lisa, we're doing a photo. And she goes, carry on then. And I'm like, oh my God, Lisa, she is interested. Well, I don't know. She was kind of like, whoa, their butts are out at my house. So really
I think
makes
she
you
said,
think,
fuck me.
Oh, she goes, oh, right. I'm sorry. She didn't say carry on. She goes, fuck me. Just like Kyle when he leaves. She goes, all right, well then let me go fuck myself. She's like, you're going to have your butt out at Villa Rosa? Well, do you mind if I go fuck myself?
Yeah. But apart from that, she does take Venus upstairs for a one-on-one where they have a more serious conversation. We get like background on his coming out story and how intense it was. And he got sent to a mental hospital, and they talk about like suicide, and Lisa brings up her brother and how, which she lots of the time doesn't like talking about, but she reminds us that she got the call while she was filming confessionals for Housewives, which I don't know if she said exactly that before, but
oh yeah,
it's dark.
I hadn't heard that either. Venus does lie in this scene. She goes, did you know, darling, that my brother committed suicide? And he goes, no. And then later in the episode, he goes, me and my dad bond over watching Vanderpump Rules. We watch it every single week. I've seen every single episode. I was like, well, then you knew what happened to Lisa's brother. You just lied. Yeah. It's kind of funny to watch somebody lie in real time because he didn't know whether or not he should expose himself as a old Vanderpump Rules watcher. But either way, the scene is beautiful. I did like when they were working out at the very beginning, that because I don't go to a boxing gym, and the guy was like, does this look like a library? I didn't open a damn library. This is a boxing gym. Do you see any books around here? And I was like, oh my God, that is so cool. I would love to be boxing. And somebody's like, does this look like a library? It's a boxing gym. And it was like, it'd get me so fired up. It'd be like, oh my God, yeah, there's not even a semblance of a library around here. I'm punching a big bag. And Angelica got a boob job in Houston.
True. Yeah. they're waiting to see the results of that. So more to come there. I think I'm down to skip to, there's a whole blip at Sir before Universal Studios. Demi says, they go, should we open the patio on the side? She goes, not today. We only have 70.
Yeah, she goes.
I'm like, I've seen Vanderpump days where they were talking 280, 300.
Yeah, she goes, it's dead as a doornail in here. She goes, our first guest is a tumbleweed. I was like, oh my God, Demi. I was like, are you guys allowed to say whatever the hell you want? The cheesecake is bad. The demi glaze is sour. Like, what the hell is going on? Lisa would be so pissed to hear Demi go, there's only 70 people. Speaking of
Brutal.
things that are going to piss Lisa off, Jason is the worst server in history. Demi goes, she goes, our training sessions are 2 weeks. He's been doing this for 4 times longer than the worst server we've ever had. He doesn't even know what's in the eggplant dip. And then Lisa goes, I'm going to take a seat at the bar. And Demi's like, fuck, God damn it, I put Jason at the bar. And then so Jason has to serve Lisa, which we've seen this scene a million times. Nobody's ever blown it like this with Lisa like Jason does. First of all, he doesn't even know
Ken.
And Ken goes, did you pee in my pool? And he goes, yeah, sorry, I didn't know you'd see it. How was it so clear that there was piss left in there? And Ken goes, we have ways of seeing it. And so I was like, oh my God, he's calling him out. So it already starts out in a bad place. But then Lisa goes, give me a drink, darling. What's my favorite drink? And Jason goes, oh shit, beer. And Lisa's like, bad start, darling. Like, you don't know that Lisa loves rosé? I could say that in my sleep if you asked me. So he's already on the bad. He's on the worst foot imaginable, and it just gets worse.
Yeah. She goes, how about the eggplant? How does that come? And he goes, the eggplant dip comes with eggplant. And she goes, how about the crab cake? And he goes, the crab cakes come in cake form.
Yeah. He goes, yeah. And it's like, yeah, he just knows what forms they come in. He's like, eggplant dip? That's in dip form. And she's like, oh, darling. And she goes, what else is in it? And he's like, I just don't know. And then she goes, crab cakes. He's like, that's in the form of a crab. And so he's just like left and right. He just can't get it. And Lisa has to she's like, I'm going to stop the bleeding right now. Get the hell out of my sight. She goes, you're now a host. And I want somebody else to serve me for the rest. That
breaks the fourth wall. She's like, just stand at the host stand. Jesus Christ. Like, I've had enough of this. And you're like, why wouldn't he just be fired? Like, why would you ever it's like, do you need a host? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on with that. You're right. It's too much to just imagine that we're keeping Jason on the lifeline because he works for like one shift every 2 weeks and he still doesn't know what's in the eggplant dip. So I was totally fine. I was like, get to the host stand. Like, who? I don't want to.
He was like, this is great for me. I could just get to gab all day. And I'm like, you don't deserve the check with Lisa's signature on it.
I think that you and I, even only working maybe 2 shifts of training, could have done a much better job than Jason. I would have known what the special was. I could have faked that I knew what the eggplant dip was. I'd been like, it's a wonderful, wonderful, big blend of different forms of eggplant with a huge sprinkle of olive oil. And she'd be like, oh, there's some version of food in there. You know what I mean? Like, we would just be better. And we would have gotten the rosé question right.
Oh, yeah. No, we got a comment from a turtle cutie that worked at Cheesecake Factory, and she said that there's an entire program to learning the menu. There's like, if you are thinking this, but you want something more like this, you should get the chicken masala. Like, there's a whole method, and I think Lisa should come up with a program like that because it's pure chaos over there. But that's the stuff that we love to see. Then, unfortunately, we do go to Universal Studios. It's a full ad. They show that there's a VIP tour guide. They show all of the like food and drink options. They show the Jurassic Park ride. And all of this, it doesn't look that fun, first of all.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of that park, personally.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, it's bad. Oh, I was so excited to go to Simpsons Land. I was like, I want to go to Moe's Tavern. It's like, there's like barf on Moe. There's like a statue of Moe. And there's just like he's covered in barf. And like it was just it's one of the worst theme parks I've ever been to in my life.
I'm sure I've said this before because it's like my favorite anecdote was just when I interned at Conan, it was on the Universal lot. And I was like, 20 years old. We got to ride golf carts around the back lot. It was like the coolest thing in the universe. It was so magical. And I was felt lucky every day. And there was just a gate that you could get to the park from, like, because you were already on the back lot. So you would just go through this one gate and you'd be in the theme park. And we're like, holy shit, you can sneak into the park. Like, imagine telling your 10-year-old self that you have like unlimited access to Universal Studios. And we did it like twice and we were like, yeah, like, I'm good.
Oh, yeah. It's so sad there. I've already told this. I went on the mummy ride. It's like the oldest ride in history. And it's like, you get on the thing and it's like a mummy comes down and goes, boo. And then it's like over. It's like, it's the worst ride I've ever been in my life.
And they got rid of all the cool old shit. Like there used to be the E10 ride. They used to have the like I Love Lucy experience. They had all this. Do they have backdrafts still? That was always a big thing. Anyways,
I don't think so. But we got it. They didn't even pretend. Speaking of like fourth wall shit, they didn't even explain why they got a private tour. Why they were able to go into God, what's the wig shop or wand shop? It's like they had a private person. It's like, what is the excuse for that? Except that you're being filmed to promote
that'll
this.
cost you.
Yeah, and it was like do spells, and Chris was like, I want the Neville Longbottom robes and stuff. It was just so drawn out and tedious. And then the laziest Jurassic Park names at this Isla New bar. It was like a dinosaur margarita. Spielberg and soda. I was like, this is so lazy and stupid. And then they take their Harry Potter robes off, which I should have thought I would have thought that they would have left them on because then this could have been an iconic scene. But Audrey decides to take her wand and her robe off, and she goes, Chris, you only compliment me for my body and call me a Bahama mama and say how sexy my ass is and say how horny you are. And you talk about dildos around me. I thought our relationship would be better. At this stage, we would be leveling up, and you seem to be sort of like in the let's just talk sexy to each other. And also she hated that call from that brother that was like, I can't wait to have sex with women. So she gives him a very uncomfortable breakup right outside of the Isla New bar. And he's stunned. And also Audrey says, I heard him talking with Jason, and they said that they are so experienced on other reality shows that they kind of put out a persona that like is excited to date people. And Audrey thinks that she might be being led along by him just thinking that he has to actively date people while cameras are on him, which I would be completely suspect of him as well if you heard him talking to Jason like that. So all good reasons why Audrey is nipping this thing in the bud.
Yeah, she friend zones him. We also do a check-in with Marcus and Kim where I would say the most pressing matter is that she has stopped taking birth control and they're not doing any alternate birth control methods. So they could just get pregnant at any time, which is shocking to me. She goes, you'd be a great dad whether or not we stay together. I'm not worried about it. And I'm like, well, you should be.
Yeah. The producers, I felt like they were like, you guys want to have a child right now? Like they've just seen them break up on camera 8 times. And they're like, we're doing everything in the world to possibly get pregnant right now that people do. She's off birth control. And I've been shocked by a lot of things, but I was pretty stunned that Marcus and Kim had possibly having a baby coming up between them in this scene. I really could not believe it. They don't seem like they're in a very good place at all.
No, they don't even live together. She said she doesn't even want to live with him unless they're engaged or have a baby. So anyways, I was like, I can't with you guys. I can't be invested in this if you guys are going to break up on every episode. It's like Brittany and what's his name?
Oh, right.
Osmond.
We talked about him, whatever that guy's name is. Oh, can I say how much I loved this next scene?
The vertical microdramas.
I'm all about vertical microdramas. I love seeing the acting world from this point of view. I absolutely love it. I think I even applied to be the casting director for this company that does these movies cut up into TikTok videos or whatever in 1 minute bite-sized chunks, like a new
I get
Quibi.
those sometimes, and I'm like, get away from me.
Oh my God. It was like, I mean, soon, like, get all the money you can, Shane and Jason from this fucking enterprise, because they're going to be doing AI videos before you can even, I bet by now it's AI, but I'm glad that they were raking it in. And I like seeing that Shane was making a lot of money from this weird form of content that I've never seen in my life. He was like, they give me.
Do you think it was 10 or 15K per show or per episode?
Probably per full movie. I'm sure that that's like a workaround where they say you're for the project, and then we get to splice it up however many ways we want. But still, he's done 9 movies, or whatever of this shitty. No offense, it's not that shitty, but it looked a little. I've just never seen anything like it in my life. I would never consume content like that. But he's made 9 of them, and then he's actually bringing Jason on set to be like, look at this guy. I've got a star waiting in the wings. And I do give Shane a lot of credit. I mean, I think at this point he's by far the most compelling cast member on this show, and he is really actually pursuing his dreams. There's a moment where Jason's like, could you imagine if I was on the set with you? That would be so cool. And he goes, when you're on the set with me, when you're with me, we'll be doing this. And I don't know. I like Shane's optimistic view of the world.
Yeah. He's manifesting. At one point, they showed him giving Jason a sort of acting lesson. And I'm like, he's totally LA actor pilled. I love it. He's giving it his all. They go outside to chat on a break for a second. And they're like, he's like, yeah, I put the brakes on with Angelica. It was a little much. And he goes, but she might come back looking bad as fuck with those new titties, though. I might have to reconsider. And they're all like,
yeah, I was like, Shane, you still surprise me. I was like, wait, I didn't know that you'd say stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, but Angelica said he's not even getting one piece of them on that. She has a phone call and she goes, Shane Davis isn't touching these with a 10-foot pole. So that's not happening. I don't really know. Do you want to talk about Venus in that friend scene?
no.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, because you already said that he revealed that he talks more about how him coming out was really hard, but that he does talk to his mom every day, and that his dad's way of bonding with him to try and connect was like, oh, you work at Sir, I'm gonna watch Vanderpump Rules from the very start to talk to you about it. And I was like, what a gift for you, Dad.
Yeah, he should join our Patreon.
He should
start from the very beginning, and you've got 8 seasons worth of content for $6 a month. Like Venus's dad. That could you imagine having that as a compliment?
Come on, Mr. Venus.
Come on, Mr. Venus. Okay, beach day. What I will say, whatever. People know what the beach is like. What am I going to say? They're running around in sand. They're playing volleyball. But what I did like is it's a little awkward between Audrey and Chris, because Chris is like, she pulled the rug out from under my ass. He's like, I had no clue what she was talking about. He was like, I thought we were in a good place. So he's like, I'm still chewing on it. And Audrey's like, keep chewing, buddy. We're not going to talk about this now. But then they go to Tower 12. And I was like, wow, you're really trying to ring some Vanderpump Rules bells with Amy and I, because I remember just recently, I think in season 11, we were going to Tower 12 with the Vanderpump Rules cast, and they're filming there for the end of the episode.
Isn't this also where Katie kissed that girl that then dated Schwartz?
I think so. So much stuff happened at Tower 12. That, James getting hot sauce in his eye from that big dip plate, Schwartz calling Lala something that I don't remember. There was a lot of energy at Tower 12. And then this new cast is like, what's that called? They're like,
hold my beer.
They go, hold my beer at Tower 12, because I'm going to do something that's just sort of in the spirit of that. Natalie says, I'm going to kiss people. And she starts kissing her friend Allison. And then Jason goes, kissing like that? He goes, we won, boys. 2 girls are kissing at Tower 12. Can I get in there and get a kiss? And then Natalie starts making out with him majorly, right?
Sloppy town. Yeah. They're making out in the background. It pans away. Chris has a heart-to-heart with Audrey where he's like, I was just surprised by what you said at Jurassic Park, the ride, and I want something real with you. I want a future with you. I want you. I want us. And then it cuts to the makeout happening behind them, and also her friend rolling his eyes like, ugh, like hate him.
Yeah, Parker was sickened by it. He does not like Chris at all. She goes, I want him to be genuine. But it's like, is he acting his ass off? Like, I would also be like, Audrey, I'd be like, do you really think that this is a dating show? Like, are you on Vanderpump
Right.
Rules because you're, and you think it's only entertaining if you're constantly dating someone? Like, I would be worried, but I think she's going to give him a second chance. It seems possibly heartfelt. And then we don't know what the hell is going to happen with Natalie and Jason and Allison. It kind of had the title was like Threesomes a Crowd. And it was like, just because Jason could have possibly kissed Allison for a second. I don't even think he did. It's like, there's no
Unearned.
threesome.
Stolen valor.
Totally. So, but then, a little glimmer of hope. Audrey's going to do stand-up comedy next week. And
No.
all right, what's your, I know you don't want to talk about this anymore. What's your, any switch in the rankings of the power rankings of Vanderpump Rules cast members?
People?
Top 3? Like, is anybody like, I know Marcus is way out. I know Kim is way out. I know Jason and Chris are way out. It's
the Shane Davis show,
Yeah.
just because I like the the underbelly of the LA acting scene.
Me too.
I don't mind focusing on that.
Love it. And it's sad because he's the least, he's the most tangentially related to the cast or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
he doesn't even work there.
No, he's just a friend to some of the cast members, mainly Marcus, but he's the most entertaining by far. But you know what? We'll still we'll still have a couple blips of Vanderpump Rules for the next couple weeks. But Amy, thank you for indulging me, in that.
Yes.
I'd say quite possibly you and I should start to wrap things up. How do you feel about that?
We've said it all. We've had a big week. We'll be back for Southern Charm and Beverly Hills as always. Potomac wasn't on this week, so we'll touch on that reunion next week. But thanks for joining us. That was fun. As always, if you want more, go to Patreon. Vanderpump Rules from the very start, extra episode per week. Plus, if you do the $10 tier, movie episode per month. So that's 5 episodes a month extra you get for $10.
Could you imagine the type of avalanche of content that would be coming down on your head if you had $10 to spare every month? You're going to be going nuts. It's like,
yeah, you can't even get a sandwich for $10 anymore.
Seriously, I was hoping you wouldn't say that because then it would have the ability to get me started. But I think about not being able to get sandwiches for $10, and I'm just like, holy shit! You got to have a coupon at Jersey Mike's and have bought 5 subs in the past before you even can come near getting a sandwich for $10. So that's shit. But this is what the exact opposite of that is, the kind of stuff that you and I were just talking about. And then there's a lot of free ways you can support us, but we've talked about that before. Just write us a review. Please, not too mean. I'm fragile as hell. I see these. I'm sorry, I don't think you like when I say this, because the comments are never bad to you. But for the love of God, please take it easy on me. My God, these comments that I see. I'm fragile. Come on. Positive, or just tell your friends you hate this podcast. My God.
I got a little bit going on.
I've got a little bit going on and I don't want to see. No, it's not that. It's just like, come on. This is a labor of love. My God, please be easy on me. I'm sorry if I said some bad shit. Come on. Take it easy. But anyway, you can comment whatever the hell you want. That's just a plea from the bottom of my soul. Anyway, Amy, let's go. Goodbye. It's over. We have, you know the schedule. We love you so much. We'll be back like clockwork. We can't wait to see you. Goodbye.
Bye.